Hello, good evening. Narito na naman tayo sa ethics number 10. So, we are going to discuss ethics in the Eastern philosophies. So, for example, number 1 is India. How do they view the standard of morality is concerned? So, in India, they have the concrete standards to determine the goodness and the badness of human acts. A person's mode of action confirms on his dharma or duty. So, ang human acts na sinasabi nila sa India ay depende sa katayuan ng tao. Depende sa kanyang duty kung siya ay pari, madre, o ano. They have 4 kinds of classes or case of human beings. Number 1 is the Brahmin. Pag sinabi natin Brahmin, it means that one who belong to the Brahmin or the nobility has made of conduct he should observe. So, ano yung katayuan ng kanyang buhay na kailangan i-observe niya ang kanyang behavior, conduct to be observed. Yung isa naman is Satriya. Satriya means a certain calling or stations of life with his specific behavior. Example, kung ang calling niya maging farmer, he acts as a farmer. Soldier, what is expected to a soldier? Ganun din sa businessman, or if you are a teacher, what is the behavior expected to a teacher? So, depende sa kung anong profession ka. And then yung isa is the Sudra, the untouchables, to live life according to what is ought to be. So, kailangan sa Sudra, mataas kung ano yung dapat na sacred, na dapat mong i-maintain na attitude o conduct, kailangan i-maintain mo. Especially if you are a priest, a pastor, may sacred behavior o attitudes o moral ang isang tao. Okay, letter B is Chinese naman. In the Chinese, moral standard of morality is, for them is, one must follow the nature of wants to be happy in this world. So to them, their happiness is the number 1 way of life nila. The nature is Tao. They call nature is Tao, which is also the way, the truth, the law. When one conforms the nature, one experience ease and tranquility. So the Chinese compare the life of men into a water flows. Example, habang ang isang buhay ng tao ay parang ilog na pag nag-flow ito, kung minsan may mga rocks na nasagabal o dumadaan, no, kailangan nilang lampasan. So yun ang obstacle sa life nila ay yung parang rocks dun sa ilog na yun o sa ano. So this is how they view life. They must go with the standard of nature. If one is tired, ika nga, you must rest. Kapag inaantok ka, matulog ka. Pag gutom ka, kumain ka. Parang ganun. So they have to follow all this desire, what they think. So the standard of their life depends on also in their needs to struggle, to live. So the Indian and the Chinese concept look upon the benevolence and understanding. We know benevolence is doing good. And if they have understanding, they need to understand things in life. So, sa case naman na Confucius said, Father should live or act as like a father. So ang sabi ni Confucius, if you are a father, you have to act as a father. If you are a mother, you have to act like a mother. If you are a minister or a priest, you have to act as a priest. Therefore, you must behave as a priest. So this depends on your standard of life, or it depends on your professions, I should say. Okay, letter C naman sa Buddhism. So in the Buddhism naman, the middle wayness of the middle path deserves special treatment. The original Buddhism was in Gautama Siddhartha, who was born in Nepal, in India. The Buddha, meaning awakened or illumined, was the prince who was shielded from all forms of pain and sufferings. So, therefore, part of sufferings or part of life of a man is there is trials, there is sufferings. But mind you, there is a saying that trials are a blessing in disguise, that we need to grow. We need to understand life. In reality, we need to carry the cross in order to follow Christ. Yan naman ang talagang nature of men in life. So, sa Greek philosophers naman natin, letter A is we have Aristotle. So, Aristotle, philosopher of Aristotle said that the key of one's happiness is virtue, the golden mean between the two extremes. So, golden mean is moderation. Lahat ng bagay, there should be moderation. Moderation, ibig sabihin, lahat ng sobra, hindi rin tama. Lahat din ng kulang, mali din. So, moderate lang ang pamumuhay. Hindi natin kailangan ng sobra-sobra para magkaroon ng masayang buhay o um, hindi naman natin kailangan maging sobrang materialistic para mabuhay ng normal sa mundong ito. Kaya maraming nagkakamali because of the fear and worries ng tao. And then, so he claims that the difficult of men between two extremes, kasi kung lahat ng sobra, kung hindi naman natin kaya, pilit natin inaabot, dito tayo nagkakaroon ng problema. So we must also learn the golden mean of moderation. Ang letter B is Epicurism, means nakuha sa pangalan ni Epicurus, be merry, for tomorrow you will die. So, ibig sabihin, we need to enjoy our life to the means na kaya natin because anyway, tomorrow we will die. So, ang karamihan sinasabi nila, mag-enjoy na tayo ngayon habang nabubuhay because anyway, when we die, we cannot bring anything when we die. You know what? That is the truth that everybody dies. But then, mabuhay tayo ng tama, mabuhay tayo na may paninindigan, okay lang na maging masaya naman tayo materially or sa spiritual naman natin is we cannot bring anything when we die except our soul. So, mabuhay lang tayo na masaya. And then, yan lang ang dapat. So, we live within our means. So, letter C is toxicism. Ito naman ang isang apathy and indifference lies. One's happiness because one is sheltered from the vagaries or ups and downs of life. So, sa buhay, kaya nga tayo may talino, may utak para gamitin natin. Kaya tayo nag-aaral so that we will not grow up ignorant. We need to study well so that we will learn to understand life. And if ever we have a problem, we know how to cope up. When we say cope up means yung set mind natin para maka-move on. That is life. So, sa modern standard naman, ng ethical standard, we have utilitarianism means letter number 1 is according to John Stuart Mill, the utility or usefulness is a standard of morality. Anything that is good, useful is good. But anything that is useless is no longer, it's an opposite, it is evil. So sa pamumuhay natin, gamitin natin sa tama ang lahat ng bagay na maging useful sa ating buhay. So, that's the reason why we have to decide, we have the will, the power to decide para alam natin kung ano yung tama para sa ating buhay o sa ating pananaw, para hindi tayo masabay. And then letter B is Jeremy Bentham said naman na pain is itself an evil. The pleasure itself is good. So, ang pleasure daw is good and anything that is pain is evil. Well, as I've said, para hindi tayo magkamali, alamin natin kasi kung ano yung mga moral na attitude o behavior. Ano yung way na karoon tayo ng peace of mind na nagagawa pa rin natin yung gusto natin pero hindi naman natin kailangan magkasala. Because we know very well that the moment we get sin, that will distract our life, that will also separate us from God. So whatever things we do, nagkakamali tayo, nagkakasala tayo, and then kahit nakantam na natin ang buong mundo, even if the man gains the whole world, if he loses his soul, sabi nga, useless yung buhay, hindi pa rin tayo nagkaroon ng peace of mind. We become insecure because of our sin. So, life is not all about pleasure. So, ito yung pagkaalam naman ni Jeremy na ang pleasure daw is good itself. Okay, the sound concept of human nature. May tatlo daw na nature ng life. Meron tayong tinatawag na vegetative life, involves nutrition, growth, and reproduction. So, kaya marami yung vegetarian, nag-enjoy sila sa kumakain na lang ng puro gulay for nourishment. They don't eat meat. Ganon. And we have also the sentient life, involves external and internal sensation, appetition, and locomotion. External sensations of seeing, hearing, smelling, and touching. So, sentient life daw, yung nakikita niya. Kung ano yung nakikita niya, na-enjoy niya. Kaya marami yung tour ng tour dyan, pasyal ng pasyal, because they are enjoying seeing, hearing, and tasting. Doon sila masaya. Nagkakaroon sila ng pleasure sa lahat ng kanilang ginagawa. So, they perceive ugly. Pag sinabing ugly, hindi maganda, that is negative. Hindi sila happy, that is negative vibrations. And we have also here the appetites. Appetites means yung ganacity natin. So, a part of sentient life is also our ganacity or appetites. In life daw may tinatawag tayong passions of men. Love is a part of passions of men. It's but natural to love ourselves. So, love of self is just natural. Ika nga. There's nothing wrong if we love ourselves. There is a saying that love yourself as you love your neighbors as you love yourself. So, therefore, we need to imply the life of loving yourself. So, how could we love if we don't even love ourselves? So, kailangan alagaan mo rin yung health mo, alagaan mo yung buhay mo, alagaan mo yung personality mo, para mas makapag-produce tayo ng maging positive vibes. Because if we are sick, we are weak, how could we share things to others? How could we share? There is a saying that a strong passion is called emotion and a weak one is feelings. Pag sinabing is strong, when do we say that a person is strong in emotion? Emotions is when you will be able to control all those feelings. Example, those desire to, may gusto ka isang bagay, gusto mo makuha agad, pero hindi mo naman kaya dahil masyadong mahal. So you know how to control. That is, you have to control your feelings, emotions. So emotions is stronger because you can be able to control your feelings of that desire. So, sa bahagi naman itong mga passion natin is locomotion, the movement towards what is sentient loves or desire. So, sa buhay natin, para mas madali, we should understand what is wants and what is needs. So, mas priority kasi muna natin makuha o makantam ang ating mga needs bago ang ating wants. So, man has also rational life. Yung number 2 is rational life. This involves also the human intellection and volition. Intellection means, kaya nga maisip, kukote tayo, may utak para alam natin isolve ang ating mga problema. And volition means we have the will to do. We have the courage to do, to perform our decision making. Kaya sa standard of life ng tao, that depends again sa ating pananaw, sa ating mga virtues, sa ating pananaw, sa ating, if we are pure, sa ating character, sa ating pagkatao. So, kaya nga, the highest life daw is yung rational being. Man has feelings. Man has thinking. May utak siya para mag-decide kung anong tama. Ang tao din kailangan may virtue para alam niya kung ano ang what is pure, what is clean, para alam niya kung ano ang mali. Hindi naman mali kung minsan yung magalit tayo because we need also to be angry. Kung mag-aagalit man tayo sa isang bagay, magalit tayo sa tamang lugar, sa tamang pamaraan. Kasi hindi naman pwede na lahat ng bagay ito-tolerate natin. Example, yung anak natin, kakamali na siya. Alangan naman ito-tolerate mo, nagtitake na siya ng drugs. Alangan naman hindi tayo magalit. It's but natural to discipline our children also in the proper way. Lalo sa modernization sa buhay na ito, sa ating buhay, maraming pleasures. Andyan ang drugs, andyan ang alak, andyan ang sigarilyo, andyan yung lahat ng tukso sa modern life. But ika nga, the human nature is better still. The sounds of human nature as interpreted by the right reason is the ethical standard of rightness, of wrongness of human acts. So, ang isang matinong tao, alam niya kung ano ang tama at mali. Alam mo dapat kung ano yung limit sa buhay mo. Alam mo kung saan tayo dapat huminto. Alam natin ang limit. Kung hindi na ito nakakabuti sa ating mga buhay, we need to stop it. So, yan po ang standard na of life of men should always have something to do in relationship with our spiritual personality and relationship to God. And that is faith to God. And if we have faith to God, ika nga, when you have faith to God, you have the reasons to understand things better. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.